Raghunath, are you ready for this?
What?
The wisdom of the sages trainings that are going on.
Where?
At the Eco Village, the Govardhan Eco Village in India.
Why?
To totally transform your life spiritually.
Who?
You, me, Radha Swami's going to be there. Other great teachers are going to be there. Lots of cool people.
How?
You go to wisdomofthesages.com/events. You find all the information there.
Haribol.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York, Kaustubha Das. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to Throwdown Thursday. Throwdown Thursday is when we get somebody from our Zoom audience and we wrestle them. And today we have Seth Lieberman on Throwdown Thursday, and Kaustubha is actually hiding in your closet, and he's going to throw down with you. Get ready. On the air, live. Just kidding. It's left over from our makeover, from our walk on Wednesday. Welcome, Seth. Haribol.
Haribol. Good morning.
But we're not talking to you yet. You know the rules. First, we have to make our announcements, and then we're going to bring you on, then we're going to throw down, okay?
Okay, perfect.
Good morning, Kaustubha.
Good morning, Raghunath.
Any announcements, sir?
Not from me.
Good, sir. Mara, look at Mara. Mara's in the studio working the boards, spinning the dials.
We have a Bhakti recovery group meeting today at noon.
All right. And that's it?
Mm-hmm.
You said it like there's more.
No, that's it.
That's it. Okay. And I'm immersed with the whole Bhakti recovery retreat here. It's quite amazing, quite fascinating. These guys are incredible, and I'm so glad we did this. This is going to be an annual throwdown week, and really happy. And everyone, you get some real, honest, heart-bearing recovery, and you can just see people just sincere about their spiritual life, and it's I'm quite inspired with having kirtans in the morning and the evening. We got the pious golfer doing yoga and pranayama in the morning, and we've just got lots of sharing and journaling, etc., all week. And this week, the Wisdom of the Sages Autumn Retreat is happening. It's on. And we have one-day tickets for Radha Swami, who is coming. He's coming.
Is it 100% confirmed?
It's 100%.
Okay, wait, sorry.
It's 100%. It's happening. And you got to go to the website if you want to get those availabilities to drop by for the day.
But otherwise, the weekend things are sold out, the full weekend.
I think the full weekend is sold out, but
okay.
I think so. Yes. You got to go to wisdomofthesages.com and then click on the Sage Academy. So we have a special guest today. Just for a few minutes, we invited Seth Lieberman. Seth Lieberman is a master kirtan monster. And we've been doing a lot of great programs with him, and he's coming to India with us for our Kirtan school, our Kirtan Academy, which starts, Seth, when does it start?
January 4th.
January 4th. And so I'm excited because this is a chance for especially yoga teachers who don't get a lot of opportunity to to like, how am I going to fit kirtan in my class? It's sort of like a delicate little art there, how to put it in, but not consume the entire yoga class. Because let's face it, sometimes people come to a yoga class and they only have an hour to sort of work out. But it's nice. We're going to go over how to like a little kirtan in your beginning and your end of class, and also how to lead kirtan. You want to talk a little bit about leading kirtan?
Yeah. Of course. Thank you. And thank you so much, as always, Kaustubha, Mara, Raghunath. Still listening every day since I was last here on Walk on Wednesday. And
really?
Yeah, I do.
Just othering out there in other space?
I do other out there. Listen on my own time. But I really appreciate all this. So thank you.
Thanks, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you. What was the question?
I don't know.
Little
Talk
early
about
for me.
leading kirtan.
Something about Kirtan. We start on the 4th. It goes for how
Yeah,
long?
No.
Talk us about
Sure.
talk about the program.
Sure. It goes until the 15th. So it's 12 days actually. And I'm particularly excited because, you know, to just have the opportunity to just focus on one subject or one study for 12 days is pretty unique. I've taught in person and on Zoom a lot lately, and just to be able to only focus on that subject and be in an environment where that supports what you're wanting to learn, less distraction, is going to be a pretty unique opportunity. And we cover a lot of different angles. So you don't have to just be a yoga teacher wanting to learn about kirtan. Some people study just for their own personal practice, you know, starts in the home and don't even want to necessarily share with other people. So that's totally welcome as well. But we do focus the training on being able to share kirtan with others. So being in a circle with other people studying and actually having an opportunity to lead is part of the experience as well. In addition to like just learning basic skills of harmonium and music theory and using your voice, all that's connected to what is in this training and the other trainings that we do.
Now, what happens if a person, Seth, says, "Hey, I like the idea of this. I have no musical skills whatsoever. I can't carry a tune if it had a handle on it. What am I qualified?"
Yes, you are qualified.
Good.
That's what I say. No, I mean, it happens all the time, especially, you know, a lot of people are coming into kirtan, of course, through yoga and coming to the harmonium through yoga practice and bhakti yoga, and aren't necessarily trained as musicians. And, you know, this is such an important part of the bhakti tradition, this particular bhakti tradition. People are very attracted to it. And you don't have to have musical skills off the bat, but you do need some musical skills in order to play an instrument. So I train people from the very beginning. Like I work with people that have zero background, even people that are older adults that just, you know, maybe it's not as easy for them to pick up an instrument, have no background. Start just really basic. It actually doesn't take very much to be able to.
The older adults are real bad, aren't
Yeah.
they? They're
Well,
horrible.
It depends, you know. Some actually, though, some people say that, oh, I have no musical training, but they're like, oh yeah, when I was in middle school or when I was younger, I did do some piano lessons, and somehow that's actually in there. That it stays. Some segment of it is still in you, so we can kind of extract what people know, and most people have some. You know, we're all musical in a sense, right? We can all relate to rhythm, and we've been hearing music our whole lives, so that's at least a foundation for study.
I also like how you said, like, you don't have to do a kirtan or add it to a yoga class or even be a yoga teacher. Like for years, I just played at my home at a little altar and I would just like to sing privately. And it was like a great source of joy and pleasure and meditation for me. So anyway, you're all welcome. The dates again, Prabhu, are
January 4th to 15th. And it's at the Eco Village.
Yeah. And if you do that, you also have the opportunity right after that. The next day is the Wisdom of the Sages Wisdom Academy training. So you could sign up for both back to back. And the 300 hours going along the entire time. So the 300 hour will be going along while you're doing that. And yeah, we're looking forward to meeting. Go to wisdomofthesages.com and click on the trainings tab. Is that it? Training events. Thank you.
Yeah, it's
Mary's
all
like,
there.
Events.
And you're welcome to reach out to me if you have any questions, or Raghunath as well. And we encourage anybody to come. It's all levels of experience, and you don't need to have any background, and everyone's welcome.
Okay. If you can't see the board, we're getting a lot of positive Seth Lieberman quotes up on the message board today. So Seth, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Truth. I'll see you this weekend. You're going to come up for the kirtan this weekend,
Kirtan
singing.
Saturday
Looking
night.
forward to it. Looking forward to hanging with you. Maybe doing a little. Kostuba's going to be here. The wrestling match will happen then. We're going to throw it out. We got like a sand pit ring.
I only
Kostuba's been working out.
Thursdays.
Yeah.
What's that? You only wrestle on Thursday. They only throw down on Thursdays. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll wrestle you on Saturday. Seth, it'll work out.
Great. I look forward to that.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you guys so
Haribol.
much. Haribol.
Oh, Kastuba. Good morning to you, my friend.
All right, Raghu.
All right, are we nuggeting or are we post nugget now?
I don't know. I mean, I guess we're a little late in the game, but we could.
We're a
pull
little
up
late for the
nugget now.
nug.
You want to pull it in, or you want to just maybe pull it
Let's.
out later?
What do you say we pull it in, and if the nugget
Mhm.
manifests, it manifests.
Okay.
All right. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan. Unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshva badreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki, by regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with a torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Mara, what you got?
Reading from Canto 4, Chapter 26, Text 14.
Oh my God.
You remember
Ready?
what's going on? You remember?
I can't remember where we are. I can't remember who you are.
Okay.
Who are you?
Who are you?
You ever look at that? Look around your house or look around your room and are like, who are these people in my life? Who are these people? How did I get here? Where am
Where
I?
did this squirrel come from? All right. So what's happening is that this is kind of like I suppose there are many songs written. Maybe someone can share some titles on the chat board, but where the guy's going back to the girl. He's like, I've been stupid. I neglected you, right? I've run around.
All right,
I've done dumb things, and I'm sorry, and I'm begging that you come back, right? He's down on his knees. He's begging. You trying to think of titles, Ragnar?
Oh, Cecilia, I'm breaking.
No, that doesn't happen in that one. She took off on him on that one.
Okay. Sorry.
In any case, Ragnar, I shouldn't have done that. I see that your mind is completely gone now. I shouldn't have done that. It was my fault. But in any case, here again, as we've been reading for weeks now, the king represents the soul. And he went out hunting, which neglecting his wife, which represents the dharmic intelligence, right? Yeah, when we say there's dharmic intelligence, there's adharmic. We're really talking about the same intelligence, just the different ways that it's functioning. But sometimes it's helpful just to speak of it like the different voices that you have in your head, right? So like,
well, there's like the Buddhists say, like the defiled intelligence.
Okay, yeah,
there is intelligence. There's genuine spiritual intelligence, and then there's a defiled intelligence.
Yeah,
like you use your intelligence for bad things,
right? And so you can kind of say, sometimes you have that little, like in cartoons we used to watch, right? There'd be like a little devil over a person hanging over one, and a little angel, over the other shoulder. It's something like that.
I have a Kastuba and Mara on my shoulders, and they're both giving me good advice, and I'm like, get out of here, you two.
Whacking with a tennis racket.
I'm the devil.
No. But so what's happened is he's neglected that dharmic intelligence, that clear thinking, that intelligence that's working for his own betterment, for his own liberation, for his own freedom, for his own happiness, really, right? He's neglected it, and he's gone off hunting, which, again, in this allegory is about he's gone out into the world to enjoy selfishly, neglecting that better intelligence, not without concern for the pain that he's causing others.
Mm-hmm.
And he wore himself out. He kind of maybe hit his rock bottom, or he found no happiness there in the end. Sometimes it can be a thrill in the beginning, and then you realize there's no happiness. I think a lot of the rock stars and stuff go through that, right? They got all the sex and the drugs and the fame, and it's kind of
you're leading me to my squirrel.
You got a nugget that relates to that?
I've got a transcendent. Well, keep going. The burnt out celebrities.
Well, so and it's not that you have to be a huge celebrity to go through that, but you might realize, if one's blessed, if one's fortunate, right? You not only there's like there's the eat in the bag potato chips, like that you got a huge bag, and at a certain point there's no taste anymore, and some people will stop, and some people
intelligent people will
keep
stop.
going. Yeah,
Some people will just keep,
even though there's no pleasure here anymore.
Bag.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm
so,
here with the Bhakti. By the way, I'm here with the Bhakti recovery group. They're all like, "Yep, the bag.
been there.
Bag is empty. We've been there, done that." That's why we're in this living room right now.
So the king, he's been out there, in his neglect of his better intelligence, trying to enjoy the material world, and he's gotten tired of it. He's come back home, right?
Right.
But so it's like he's coming back to the wife and saying, "I'm sorry, I screwed up. I neglected you. What was I thinking? Please come back." But kind of the theme here is that the mind's programmed disposition, like the dharmic intelligence that was there, it doesn't come back so easy, right? We can't just flip the switch, right? We can't just immediately start seeing the world in a healthy way, and it's not easy to behave or to act in a way that's going to be spiritually beneficial for us. It can be a struggle. So he's got home and he's saying, "Hey, I just want my dharmic intelligence just to wake up again," and it's not so easy. So that's what's going on here.
All right. Ready to dip?
I'm ready to dip.
A little nectar dip right here. King Puranjana said, text 15.
Hold it. Where are you?
Text 14.
14. That's right.
At that time, King Puranjana was a little anxious, and he inquired from the household women, "My dear beautiful women, are you and your mistress all very happy like before or not?" What does that mean?
So the mistress would be the queen, his dharmic intelligence, and the women of the house that he's speaking to, they represent the actions of the antakarana, the actions of the actions of the various functions in the mind, right?
All right.
And so he's saying he's looking into his own mind right now, right? And he's seeing, okay, my mind functions in different ways. Where's that dharmic intelligence? Where did she go? Where's your mistress, right? I'm looking within my own mind, and I'm finding that clear. Maybe we all have that feeling, when I'm thinking clearly, I'm seeing clearly, and I don't just mean like intellectually or in the form of being able to like problem solve or something like that. But what I mean is that we're detached from material things, right? Particularly those that are destructive in our life. That it's easy. We talked last week about like walking past the liquor store, right? For some people, that's the easiest thing in the world. And for other people, it's a very difficult thing to do. Right? So he's looking into his mind and he's saying, I need that clear intelligence again. I need that clear discrimination, that ability to be detached from things that are harmful with ease. And so he's looking at the movements in his mind and he's saying, where is that? Where did she go? All right.
Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
King Puranjana said, "I do not understand why my household paraphernalia does not attract me as before. I think that if there is neither a mother nor a devoted wife at home, the home is like a chariot without wheels. Where is the fool who will sit down on such an unworkable chariot?"
So read that again. He mentioned, I think that there is...
"I do not understand why my household paraphernalia does not attract me as much as before."
Okay.
So he's not attracted to the dharma. I think that if there's neither a mother nor a devoted wife, right, the dharmic intelligence, the home is like a chariot without wheels.
So the mother here represents bhakti, devotion to God. And again, the wife is that intelligence endowed with dharma. And he's looking at his mind and saying, if neither of these are prominent in my mind, then what good is this mind, right? It's like an empty home. Right.
Kindly let me know the whereabouts of the beautiful woman who always saves me when I am drowning in an ocean of danger. That's material world, isn't it? It's like an ocean of danger.
It is.
By giving me good intelligence at every step, she always saves me.
Yeah.
All the women address the king, "O master of the citizens,
Well,
we do not know."
Yeah, anyway, just to be clear, so again, he's really lamenting it's not easy to find that clear dharmic intelligence. He didn't just open up the door and she jumped into his arms, right?
Yep. This sort of sounds like the nugget you wanted to pull out today, doesn't it? Sounds like insert nugget here.
Maybe.
Okay. All right, I'm just going to go.
Okay.
Kindly let me know the whereabouts of that beautiful woman who always saves me when I'm drowning in the ocean of danger. By giving me good intelligence at every step, she always saves me. All the women address the king, "O master of the citizens, we do not know why your wife has taken on this sort of existence. O killer of enemies, kindly look. She is lying on the ground without bedding. We cannot understand why she is acting in this way." What's going on, Kaustubh? Explain this analogy.
So the bedding here represents the heart, right? And it's like it's almost like, this is kind of like a scene in a movie or something like that, where like the wife has been so neglected and she's so distraught that she's like not present, like she's lying on the ground. Hear the word, what verse are we in? 17?
17?
Yeah, I think so, right? What you tell me?
I've
You just read
Yeah,
it.
17.
Yeah.
I know I just read it.
So it says that the word niravastare means without bedding. His heart is her flower bed. So in other words, it's like our dharmic intelligence. When we say the heart, right? Often what we're referring to is the mind, but like the center of the mind, what we hold most dear. Like we say, I hold it in the core of my heart. And so our dharmic intelligence, our clear dharmic thinking should be sitting right at the very core of our mind, right at the very core of the heart. And his isn't, right? His queen should be sitting right there on that bed, right? But she's not. If she were happy and well engaged, she would be right there. But she's not. She's lying on the floor, like distraught, she's like a mess. Like, you've neglected me, and I'm not connected with you anymore. It's like that, I don't love you anymore. It's that kind of thing, There's like
so neglected from your good consciousness, your good behavior, your good thoughts, your good yeah.
Now he's going to have to be engaged in the process of like, come back, I'm sorry, I want to be with you again.
Okay, so text 18. 17.
Oh,
No,
sorry,
I just
18.
17.
We just read 17.
I'm
yeah.
sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it's okay to correct me, Kaustubh. You just got to be right.
Yeah, 99% of the time I am.
Touche, my friend, touche. The great sage Narada continued, "My dear King Prachini Barhi, as soon as King Puranjana saw that his queen lying on the ground, appearing like a mendicant, he immediately became bewildered. The king, with a grieved mind, began to speak to his wife with very pleasing words. Although he was filled with regret and tried to pacify her, he could not see any symptom of anger caused by love within the heart of his beloved wife."
Okay, so she's appearing like a mendicant. Like, a king's wife shouldn't appear like a mendicant. A mendicant is someone that has nothing, right? The word here is avaduta is used. And an avaduta especially can mean like a mendicant who's like has no concern for their own body.
Spiritual madman.
A spiritual madman. And especially here it's indicating like, there are these mendicants that like, they just totally neglect the needs of the body, right? They become very thin and
We've seen them.
We've seen them, yeah, and maybe they even perform like intense austerities and so on. And, they sleep on the stone, the cold ground, and
Walk around nude.
Yeah, so really, his relationship, his wife should be like perfectly cared for and well dressed and bright and happy and all this. She appears totally neglected. She appears like someone who has nothing. Like he hasn't been providing for her at all. And he's kind of distraught to see her in that state. And so we can reach the state where we look into our own, or we look into our own mind and say, my God, I have no relationship anymore with this clear thinking. It's lying there like a mendicant on the ground.
Alrighty. Text number
20.
20. Because the king was very expert in flattery, he began to pacify his queen very slowly. First, he touched her 2 feet. Then he embraced her nicely, seating her on his lap, and began to speak as follows.
Okay, so here the 2 feet represent giving up ahankara, giving up the false ego,
Mm-hmm.
my false identification with myself, which is what led him into all of the mess in the first place. And the other, touching the other foot, represents respecting devotees.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
My dear slender maiden.
Hold it. We're not done yet. And by putting her on his lap, that means, again, that's representing, he's putting her right back in the heart. I want to bring my dharmic intelligence right back to the center. So he's neglected her. He's saying, I need to give up my ego, and I need to respect those people that have that clear dharmic intelligence, right? And pull it back in. Pull it back in. This is our process. Okay.
Text 21. My dear beautiful wife, when a master accepts a servant as his own man, but does not punish him for his offenses, the servant must be considered unfortunate.
Yeah. So in other words, it's
It's
good
like-
that you're I deserve to be treated this way, right? I was wrong, and it's right that you be upset with me.
My dear slender maiden, when a master chastises his servant, the servant should accept this as a great mercy. It's like the Stockholm syndrome.
No, not at all. He was the one that was in the wrong.
Oh, okay, that's right. Okay. One who becomes angry must be very foolish not to know that such is the duty of his friend. My dear wife, your teeth are very beautifully set. Your attractive features make you appear very thoughtful. Kindly give up your anger, be merciful upon me, and please smile upon me with loving attachment. When I see a smile on your beautiful face, and when I see your hair, which is as beautiful as the color blue, what? And see your
talk about blue
see
hair.
your raised nose, what? And hear your sweet talk, you will become more beautiful to me, and thus attract me and oblige me. You are my most respected mistress.
So he's saying, show me your beautiful face again. Show me that again. I want to see you smile. Then I'll know that we're reconnected. He wants to feel that. He wants to feel that reconnection with his clear dharmic intelligence.
When I see your raised nose, what does that mean?
Raised nose. Some people have a nose that goes down, and some people have a nose that goes up, and the upward nose can be
I
attractive.
wonder if a downward nose is considered unattractive.
You're worried. Raghunath's looking
A
in the mirror.
beakish nose. Well, raised usually means like a pig,
No, it doesn't, Raghunath.
Okay. My dear wife, until this day, I have never seen your face without tilak decorations, nor have I seen you so morose without luster or affection, nor have I seen your 2 nice breasts wet with tears from your eyes, nor have I ever seen your lips, which are ordinarily
You skipped a verse, Raghunath.
no.
24, right?
Oh, sorry. Oh, hero's wife, kindly tell me if someone has offended you. I am prepared to give such a person punishment as long as he does not belong to the Brahmin caste. But for the servant of Krishna, I excuse no one within or beyond these 3 worlds. No one can freely move after offending you, for I am prepared to punish him. My dear wife.
Hold up, Raghunath.
Right.
Are you at all curious about what that verse meant?
I was just going to bundle them. I take my verse, I bundle them.
Oh, this is a very interesting verse. Okay.
Right. Tell me.
So he's saying that there's my intelligence, my way of interpreting things, right, in my mind. And particularly there's this dharmic intelligence that he wants to be reestablished in the center of his mind, all right? And he's saying, if anyone else comes along and attacks you in any way, I'm going to stand up now, right? In other words, you have your dharmic intelligence and it's saying, hey, do this or don't do this. And then another thought comes in, right? We see something and it makes us think something, it makes us feel something, and we want to go against. It's coming up against. It's anti-clear dharmic intelligence. And he's saying from now on, in the past I went chasing that stuff. But from now on, if anything, if any of those kind of thoughts come in, I'm going to battle them, right? I'm going to battle with the voices of adharma to protect dharma within my own self, right? Are you listening? Where are you, Raghunath?
I am.
Huh?
I was thinking.
This is really. You would have so much good stuff to say about this if you were just listening to me.
I know. Why don't I just listen?
Why don't you just listen, Raghunath?
You know what? It's a gift and it's a burden. You know that? The mind of mine. I mean, if I was listening all the time, I wouldn't be creative in a lot of other ways.
Yeah.
I don't hate myself, Kastuba. I just accept what I am.
I'm not telling you not to be creative, Raghunath. You don't have to create this false dichotomy, okay?
Oh, man.
No, now hear me out. I'm going to say it again, okay?
Yeah, say it again.
Are you listening to me?
I am.
Look me in the eye.
You know what I was thinking about? I was thinking of
Tell me.
I was thinking of Aura Vessel, John Burke painting the house this weekend. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah,
He might come up and paint the house. I was
Oh,
picturing him.
That was the depth of your creativity that I was trying to drag you away from. Okay, he's lost it. Come back, Raghunath. You are. Come on back. There you go. He's losing it.
All right, I'm sorry. Go on.
All right. You with me?
Yes.
Now hear me out, Raghunath. Okay. So he's saying he's reestablishing his relationship with his dharmic intelligence. It's a beautiful thing, Raghunath. Isn't
Okay.
it? Right?
Yes.
Have you ever gone through that yourself?
Yes, on a regular basis.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, even in your life, I think you've gone through times where you kind of like you felt like you were straying from that, and then you came back. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Day to day.
We all do. Yeah. Okay. So now he's saying within he's developing a little heart. Like how like in street talk, like we say, yo man, that guy's got heart. That guy's got no heart, or something like that, or that guy's got heart, or like I got too much heart not to stand up to that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like Krishna speaks, like he calls it hridaya durlabham, the weakness of the heart.
Mm-hmm.
We know what's right, but we don't have the strength to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Do what's right.
Insert your nugget.
Okay.
Because we got a Seneca nugget that would fit right in there.
I believe it would, Rollins. Would you like to read it?
Just read it. I gotta dig it in.
So this is Seneca. He says, no evil propensity of the human heart is so powerful that it may not be subdued by discipline.
Read that again.
No evil propensity.
No evil propensities
of the human heart is so powerful that it may not be subdued by discipline. We should never think, oh, it's just too powerful. I can't change.
That's just me. People say that's just who I am.
Right.
No.
Right. No.
Those are your bad habits. You've cultivated those bad habits. You can change those bad habits. It's not you. That behavior is not you. That's your behavior. That's how you've trained yourself. You can untrain yourself through series of discipline.
Right.
There's hope. There's light. You're not broken.
Yeah. You can stand up. You can battle those voices of adharma within your own head.
Yeah, you just can't give in to those whims. And it's done by hanging out with people that are stable.
Yeah. That's when he said it was giving up he touched the 2 feet of the queen, right? In other words, he showed respect to his dharmic intelligence. 1 foot represented letting go of false ego, this ridiculous ideas about who I am and and all that. And then the other one was to respect the Vaishnavas, to respect the devotees, to respect the Bhakti-yogis. That's the way you develop that heart. You develop that strength.
We're getting too old to be reckless. Huh? It's like we're too old to be reckless. Be reckless when you're 14 and then get over it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Then get over it.
Get over it, yeah.
And hopefully you're over it.
Ideally, if
you're reckless now, wherever you're at, get over it today. And you do that by finding some people who are stable and stay with them and hang with them and live with them and serve them.
Right.
You can't do it anymore. It's over. That reckless thing, it's over. You're going to wreck your life and everybody that loves you's life as well. At this point in my life, I need stability. We all need stability. We need a stable home, stable teachers, stable friends, stable partners.
Good habits, right?
Good
Good
habits.
sadhana.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Raghunath. Thank you, Raghunath,
Thank
for
you.
sharing that. All right, we can wrap up the chapter right now,
All right.
and there's still plenty to talk about. So why don't we read the next 2 verses? And
I have a very interesting squirrel, but I'm trying to fit it in somewhere.
you don't have to, Raghunath.
I know I don't have to. No, it's a
But now I'm
it's a
curious.
squirrely, interesting squirrel.
But it has
But
nothing to
okay.
do with what we're talking about.
It may not have anything to do with what we're talking about, so I'm not going to add it.
Okay. Look at that discipline. You see,
All right, my friend. Text 23,
25.
text 25.
Read 25 and 26.
My dear wife, until this day, I have never seen your face without tea-lock decorations, nor have I seen you so remote. I already read this. Nor have I
Because
seen
you
your.
skipped one, and then now we're.
You're making me read the breast one again. Nor have I seen your 2 nice breasts. You want me to say that again, wet with tears from your eyes. Nor have I ever before seen your lips, which are ordinarily as red as the bimba fruit,
The bimba fruit.
without their reddish hue. This time I go to India, when I go to India in a couple of weeks, I'm going to look for bimba fruits.
Okay.
My dear queen, due to my sinful desires, I went to the forest to hunt without asking you. Therefore, I must admit that I have offended you. Nonetheless, thinking of me as your most intimate subordinate, you should still be very much pleased with me. Factually, I am very much bereaved. But being pierced by the arrow of Cupid, I am feeling lusty. But where is the beautiful woman who would give up her lusty husband and refuse to unite with him?
So he's saying, "Come on, we go way back. You know, we have this relationship.
We go way
right? Yeah. Let's not give it all up now, right? You and I are meant to be together, right? And so accept me back now, right?" He's saying, "I've never seen you in such. I've never seen. You know, it's like a broken person that's like looking at himself and saying, I've become so weak at making the right decisions in life, right? And it's personifying these different parts of one's thinking. So he's saying, you know, I'm really sorry. I was in the wrong. I neglected you. And now I'm seeing that you're crying and so on. I want to see you bright and happy, and I want us reunited. But, you know, so the dharmic intelligence doesn't come back so easily. That's the message here. You know, and this is part of the, we were mentioning yesterday, you know, there's that kind of cycle of karma, you know, or you could say a cycle of bad karma, where you have the seed of, due to one's ignorance, there's a seed of desire, and then there's the action that follows that, right? Then, and from that comes like a tangible reaction, you know, like the karmic you know, I do something harmful, and there's a very tangible karmic reaction that plays out in my life. But then there's also this kutam, this disposition, right? That you develop this, you could call this kutam, this weakness of heart, right? That it becomes easier to do the wrong thing again, or it becomes harder to do the right thing again. That our mind starts to get it gets shaped in a particular way, and that's a problem for the yogi. The yogi's recognizing this cycle, and that bad disposition leads back to the desire again, and to the action again, and to the karmic reaction again, and then the deepening again of the disposition. It's going around and around. If we're not careful, we get very deep. And when you're dealing with a person like that, they can't even hear the simple truth. They can't even hear what's good for them, what to speak of act on it.
They can't, that was a powerful statement. They can't even hear simple truth.
Yeah.
You know, what to speak of act on it. So when we do go a little off track, that's understandable. Sometimes we'll go off track. We just got to catch it quick before it gets into deep waters, where we're just starting spinning out of control. Just like sometimes your car, you know, you swerve and it goes, but don't let it spin out of control. Just grab that wheel and get back right on that lane. It's okay. Sometimes it will. Sometimes you're neglectful or something, and you will go a little off into the what's that called in the highway? It goes, you hit those little ridges on the edge of the road.
Yeah, right.
That's understandable. Sometimes that happens. Pull it back in the lane. Autocorrect.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's and this is, you know, I think for a yogi, you know, it's that kutam that we're talking about. It's that reshaping of the mind that's even scarier than the straight out karmic reaction, right? It's like, okay, maybe I'm going to do something that's harmful and I'm willing to accept the reaction. I'll live through it. But what's worse than that is that our mind gets shaped to this predisposition to continue it. You know, that's like even the more problematic, you know, like part of our not being careful how we act in this world. You know, then now I'm losing my free will. It's one thing to accept a karmic. It's one thing like, hey, I get my slap in the face from the material world. I can endure that. But when our mind gets shaped to these different types of predisposition, we're actually losing our freedom. You know, that's a scarier thing, you know?
Yeah.
So therefore there has to be a lot of carefulness in how we move through this world, or we will become weak of heart. You know, we'll get that hridaya durlabham. I have the verse here from Bhagavad Gita, that hridaya durlabham.
Tell me.
You know where it comes up? Just throw this out as a
Hridaya durlabham,
Not
weakness of
sequence.
heart. 6th chapter.
well, that may be, but I'm not sure if it comes up more than once in the Gita, but
I don't know.
it's right in the beginning where Arjuna's like shown,
yeah.
like, right? He's
Go ahead.
in text 2:3. Krishna says to Arjuna, "Do not yield to this degrading impotence. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of the enemy." Right? Stand up. Right? We need that strength. We really need to have that. You know, like we say, like have heart. You know, stand up to the weaknesses of the heart. And I have something here, Raghunath, that's from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
Tell me.
This is, so you want to share just a few words about him?
Oh, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, you know, he was a high court judge in Calcutta in the 1800s. He was also a very, very deep spiritual poet, visionary, really resurrected the Bhakti movement again in Gaudiya Vaishnavism and follower of Lord Chaitanya, and kept it sort of like honed it in, kept it on path where it was sort of things over time. They need some sort of reformers because things get watered down, splayed out, misconstrued. And even though he was really like refined in his practice of essential practice, he was very, very broad-minded. And some of the works he wrote were like so inclusive. He really pushed home this point, how Bhakti is all inclusive. But at the same time, there are still principles that you can't deviate from. And he was a prolific author, prolific songwriter, poet, etc. And then he had like 10 children, and one of them was Prabhupada's guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who was, you know, opposite. He didn't have 10 children. He was a lifelong brahmachari and opened up. They say he had thousands and thousands of disciples all over India.
Yeah, both very influential figures in our lineage. Yeah. Okay, so he's writing here about the following activities arise from weakness of heart. Okay, when we don't stand up and be strong and make the right decisions, even though we know that it's right. Right? It's one thing to not know what's right, not know what's helpful, not know what's healthy. And it's another thing that we actually know it, but we have that weakness of heart. We don't stand up and do it, right? So this is what comes from that. This is the kind of predispositions that develop within the mind if we don't stand up. One is, number one, subordination to insignificant objects. All right. In other words, we think I'm doing what I want to do. Actually, no, you're going to become subordinate. You're becoming controlled, right? To insignificant objects. What do you think that could mean?
Subordinate to insignificant objects.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like what?
I don't know. It could be like, for instance, we become overly concerned about our possessions. So now I'm working hard to get money to buy certain things, right? To get certain objects or something like that, right? Insignificant things I'm considering to be significant. That's really a lot of what's happening in this world, is right. People are considering insignificant things to be significant. They're working really hard for them. So you're
working really hard for the newest iPhone.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we're tied into like a debt pattern.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yes, that's all. Yeah, we want things we can't afford, so we get in debt, and we're working hard just to support some insignificant objects.
You become a slave. Yeah.
Become a slave.
Okay. Next one is bewilderment of heart due to lamentation. Right.
Bewilderment of heart due to lamentation. So these are weaknesses of heart.
Yeah,
Lamentation,
these arise from weakness of heart.
All right, bewilderment.
In other words, if I'm not going to make the right decisions, I'm going to lament down the road, right? And I'm going to be sitting here lamenting, thinking, "Oh my God, the world is so bad. How did I get here?" Not realizing that I can just step out of this all along, right? But I'm bewildered into lamentation. I'm thinking the world is a horrible place. No, you're just making the wrong decisions. Start making the right ones, right?
It's also a divorcing us from our spiritual reality, which is everything's happening for me right now. There's some loss right now, and that's going to be a good thing because there's a benevolent hand in whatever is happening to me right now, and I'm just going to let this go.
Right.
A weakness of heart.
Okay. Next one is distraction from pure devotional service, distraction from bhakti due to false argument, right? Like my intelligence becomes so bewildered that I can't even. I'm becoming bewildered by just ideas that aren't really very sound.
Right. Sometimes we can, in our own desire for Maya, in a very intellectual way, we can talk ourselves out of truth, out of Krishna, we can use that great intelligence we have to talk us out of doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Krishna always says, I am forgetfulness. If you want to forget me, Krishna will give you the intelligence to forget him.
There you go.
And to like back up. Yeah. I'm like, Maya's a great choice. Actually, you're being very well-rounded and, broad-minded by accepting Maya today.
Yeah. Like here's a false argument that one might have within their own mind, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't know about practicing bhakti because there's that person, he's supposedly bhakti practitioner, and look at them. He's like a hypocrite. Right. Okay. But what does that have to do with you? Right. In your own practice. Right. Oh, they're all a bunch of hypocrites. Okay. Still, what does that have to do with you?
Right.
So there's all that's just one example of a potential false argument that might arise.
Yeah. Or you could say, I'm sick of waking up early, listening to the Bhagavatam. These guys are just like, they're all fanatical, or you make some excuse because you have some other desire to rationalize. Yeah.
And we see the people who don't have that weakness of heart, they're just clear, right? They just walk right past all of the false arguments, right? Or all the different reasons, 1 through 25, why someone may give up their practice. It's like, what are you talking about? It's clear in their mind. Okay. The next one is miserliness in offering all one's energy in the cultivation of bhakti.
Miserliness.
I'm holding back, right? And I feel very guilty of that myself.
Oh.
Next one, rejection of humility due to the pride of caste, wealth, education, followers, beauty, and strength. Right? The false ego is deepening. Right?
Yeah. So these are things of the material world. Who is that calling me on Telegram?
It's not
That's
important,
weird.
I gotta think.
I know. Someone just called me up. I don't even know who it is. Yeah, those are all the things. Those are the good karma things of this world that can take away our genuine identity, our real identity. Our real identity is we're someone small in this world. We're small, but we're significant. We're significant because we're part of a spiritual reality. We're part of divinity, and therefore that's our significance. But in reality, I am very small. That's okay. That's okay to be small. That's reality. That humility is reality. But when I get some material opulence and I identify that opulence as myself, I become incredibly arrogant. And then I lose that reality. I have a good position in the workplace, or I have some beauty, or I have some good credit, or some good credit card, or I have some, money in the bank, or a nice car, or whatever. All those things I can start to think, hey, I'm pretty cool. I'm the center. We forget our tininess. Just because we're tiny, by the way, does not mean we're insignificant. We are very significant in our spiritual service. That's where we find our significance. But we are very tiny. And it's a beautiful thing to accept our tininess and to accept our significance at the same time. Oftentimes, we vacillate between I'm the best and I'm the worst. And that pendulum goes back and forth. But actually, you're not the best or the worst. You're actually very tiny. but you're also very significant because you're a spiritual being and your work in this world is significant. Just like when those monkeys in the Ramayana were building the bridge to Lanka, there was a little ant also building the bridge with the little pebbles, right? He was bringing little stones, and his work was very significant because he was serving Lord Ram.
There you go.
What do you think about that?
Love it. So we got 4 more, and we only got about 3 minutes.
Oh man, I didn't even get to my squirrel nug.
Okay, we
Got a
ready?
whole squirrel nug ready for you. You're going to get it tomorrow when you least expect it.
All right. 4 more activities that arise from weakness of the heart. One is disinterest in rectifying prejudice.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and what he means by prejudice, he was from another time and era. I'm looking up the definition of prejudice, and you could read it this way.
He's probably got some old world 1800
more likely. Yeah,
prejudice meaning.
Disinterest in rectifying preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience.
Okay. Yeah, preconceived notions.
Yeah.
Of,
right.
Yeah,
you're just getting lazy in your own intelligence and not digging in deep and really understanding what's truth and what's not.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. The next one is abandonment of compassion due to anger, illusion, envy, or intolerance. This will rise. These are the predispositions that sink in when you have the weakness of heart.
Okay.
Next one, false identification of the self as a Vaishnava due to the desire for name, fame, and the cheating propensity. So even in the name of practicing bhakti, you're not doing it for the right reason anymore. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look at me. I'm this holy person. So glorify me, Okay. And then finally, this is a heavy one. The torture of other living entities that arise, so causing pain to others. Let's put it that way, right? I don't think he's necessarily someone chained down in a dungeon or waterboarding someone, right? But
tomorrow we're going to talk about Silence of the Lambs.
Okay. So, and the torture.
You know that girl? That girl who's kept in the well?
I never saw the film.
You never saw Silence of the Lambs?
No.
Anybody see Silence of the Lambs? There's a whole story. He keeps this girl in a well.
That's terrible.
I know, but you know the girl. Like in real life, you know who the girl was.
The actress, you mean?
She was an actress. Yeah, she's a hardcore girl.
Okay.
No, not Jodie Foster. Anyway, sorry.
Okay,
it's got nothing to do with that. Keeping people in your basement in a well. It's got nothing to do with that.
Okay.
What has it got to do with?
I think it's causing harm to others, causing pain to others, right? And the torture, the causing of pain to others that arises from the desire for sexual enjoyment, for wealth, and other forms of sense gratification.
Okay. By the way, no one should watch Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
There's no good reason why you should put that into your consciousness. If
Don't
my
do
kids are listening, never watch that film.
Okay.
You'll thank me.
So the last one was it's if I have this weakness of heart, it's likely that I'm going to do just what we say the king was doing, right? You're out there, you're looking for sense gratification, you're causing pain to other living beings. So we got to stand up, right?
This is a good, this is a good one. We should have took these last 3 and saved them for tomorrow because they're really good.
We'll go right back to them then if you like.
We'll go right back to them. Okay.
We'll go back to weaknesses of the heart.
Mara, I know Mara's got to run today. She's got some important service to do today.
Okay.
What are our takeaways, Mara?
We got some good stuff.
Uh-oh.
What
Imagine
good is
Are you always say that?
Yeah,
I do.
We don't have any.
You ever notice that? Did you say we got some bad,
kinda
nothing good,
mediocre.
nothing
I
good
got nothing
today?
today.
There's
Nothing.
nothing really good. You guys talked about nothing.
What good is this mind without bhakti and dharma?
That's right.
Yeah, come on. Okay, I got a studio audience here. They're clapping.
The material world is an ocean of danger.
Yeah, ocean of danger. Yeah.
Ocean of danger. Let's hear it for ocean of danger.
Keep clear dharmic intelligence in the core of the heart.
Okay. Yes.
Pull it right up on your lap. Embrace it. Give it a big hug, Raghu.
Give up the false ego and respect devotees.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's two
Respect the
things.
devotees.
All bad habits and behaviors can be disciplined.
Discipline.
Let's hear it for discipline.
We're
No
too
one's
old.
clapping for that. The whole Bhakti cover is like, no. I didn't clap for that one.
We're too old to be reckless.
Too old to be reckless.
Oh my God. All right. There is hope. You are not broken.
Ah,
Ah,
we're ocean of danger from Dayton, Ohio.
Straighten out the wheel when you hit the rumble strips.
Rumble strips. That's what they're called. Rumble strips. Rumble strips.
We are small but significant.
Yeah, we are significant. We're small.
And
and
throw down with the voices of adharma.
there you go. Hey, good one there.
What about all that stuff I said about stability? You didn't take any of that.
Nothing.
Stability. Stability.
You talking
Home.
about stability?
Stability. I give a whole monologue on stability.
So you can share right now. What's your nugget or what's your
Be
takeaway?
stable. Be
Okay,
stable.
thank you.
Surround yourself with stability. Oh, Mara. You spacing out when I was doing my stability monologue.
Sorry.
We
gonna
all
get
loved
something
your
good,
stability. monologue.
It was great.
We'll
It
go
was
back
great.
there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Stability, people. How about stability? Come on, stability. Stability, yes. Thanks everybody for joining us. I was a little distracted today, but
A little.
a little. I'm gonna blame it on the Bhakti Recovery Group. How about that? Here's the message here. Never take full responsibility. Always push it to somebody else.
All right.
Well, thanks everybody for joining us. Hey, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody this weekend. I'm going to miss the Bhakti Recovery crew there at Wild Group. And thanks everybody for joining us live. If you're listening on Zoom, you can join us live too. Email Mara at wisdomofthesages108@gmail.com. And if you like what we're doing, I want to give a thanks to everyone that supports us. It really makes a difference. So, you can support us at patreon.com/wisdomofthesages. Patreon.com/wisdomofthesages. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. Mara's got to go take care of Frankie today. Kastuba's got to wrestle Seth Lieberman today. And if you're interested in Kirtan Academy, go to wisdomofthesages.com, click on the events, and check out Wisdom and check out the 300 hour. It's all happening this January in the Govardhan Eco Village, 3 hours north of Mumbai. And Radha Swami's been there year after year with us. It's really quite an incredible month.